7 on the 2001 Indy Racing League schedule is ready to roll at Richmond International Raceway, and the green flag is out. We're underway. Turn 2 has been the tricky spot all weekend long. Let's hope that everybody survives and gets through. Turn number 2, so far things are looking very good. Everybody is through safely, and there's a great battle up front for the lead. But it is not Jacques Lazier who comes down and leads the first lap. It's Buddy Lazier with Sarah Fisher second, and then Sam Hornish.
Buddy made a great pass going through turn 2, went right around the outside of Sarah Fisher, and it looks like his car's really hooked up tonight.
He was very aggressive. I don't think anybody expected him to be that aggressive off of row number 2, but he was extremely aggressive on the outside in both corners.
Well, we've said all along since we heard that Richmond was going to be added to this IRL schedule that if they could pass in the corners, we were going to see a terrific battle and a race. And so far, we've seen several passes in the corners as we jump on board with Sam Hornish Jr., the current points leader. Currently third, that's Sarah Fisher just up ahead, and quite a distance up ahead is the leader of the race, Buddy Lazier.
Look how Sam has very quietly snuck his way up to third place. He does this a lot of races. His crew and he as a driver tend to make a lot of changes from the last practice session and until the beginning of the race. And it looks like they rolled the dice again tonight. The car seems like it's handling very well.
Yes, he started back in 6 spots, so he made a 3-position jump in just 1 lap. Now that he's kind of settled in behind Sarah Fisher, though, he's just running there.
And his brother, who started from the pole of this race, Jacques Lazier, has fallen back to 4th position. Ayrton Darre is 5th, and Cheever, Giafoni, Salazar Buell, and Jared Schrader complete the top 10. On board on Sarah Fisher's car, looking back on Sam Hornish as Hornish draws in even closer down the backstretch.
You can see Sam Hornish is he gets up close behind Sarah in some of the corners, lays back in other corners. These two have been racing against each other for a long time, all the way from when they were little kids, racing short tracks, racing midgets together. They've got a lot of experience racing against each other.
Yeah, he's very aggressive now. He's been moving up on him. Now that he's going to try the inside, he decided not to right there at the last minute. But you can tell when he gets right behind her like he did there, he pushed the front end and he lost a couple of car lengths because of that.
There are some drivers who have moved up. In addition to Lazier gaining 3, Hornish has gained 3, Schrader 2, Andre 2, and Billy Boat, started back in 19th position, has gained 3 spots. So the battle continues up front while Buddy Lazier has opened up a bit of an interval. There's a great battle for second position as Hornish tries the inside of Lazier, and he completes the pass. Sam Hornish Jr. moves to second.
Yes, she was very smart there. She let him go. Once she saw him to the inside and the spotter told him he was there, she decided not to race this early side by side and to let him go.
It's a good job timing that pass. She'll have to do that all night.
Bob, one of the things that can happen so quickly here in Richmond is a race car begins to go away. That seems to be the case with Buddy Lazier in his time goes first right entry. After running very well, all of a sudden he's radioed in and says it's developed a big-time push, Vince Welch.
Well, I don't think something's wrong with Jacques Lazier's car just because he started on the pole and drifted back into the 4th position. Patience is the key for this team. They know they won't be winning on the first lap. You've got to be around for 250. All is well for Jacques Lazier.
Jacques Lazier is running back in 4th position, about 6 seconds behind his brother, the leader. Now, Buddy has about a 3-second advantage, 3.7-second advantage on Hornish, but that interval is lessening.
And Hornish is the fastest car on the racetrack right now. He's about 3 or 4 mile an hour faster than anybody else out there.
Buzz Calkins has already been lapped, and so has Jeff Ward. There's our track map. 91 Lazier the leader, Hornish number 4 second, and Fisher 15 third.
Outside, 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 outside. Car inside, inside, and outside. You're through. Good job. Okay, yellow, yellow, yellow. It's behind. Track is clear. No too close. 91's your leader. He's going into turn 4. Slow it down, 91. Slow it down, 91.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway. ESPN is giving you the chance to win a ride in an Indy car and a trip to next year's Indianapolis 500. We'll be revealing the Indy All Access Sweepstakes Driver of the Day later in today's race, so stay tuned. We'll be be going green in one more lap, Jackaroo.
Well, Mark Dismore is the first of the back runners that decides to take advantage of this early caution to come in. What they want to do is get out of sequence, Vince Welch, and try and matriculate their way to the front as other teams make their pit stops later.
Waiting on Jacques Lazier to come out of the medical center. He is okay, and the crew will try to prepare the car in the garage, so maybe we haven't seen the last of Jacques Lazier tonight.
Oh, okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, we get set to go back to racing, and that is Buddy Lazier. The lap car of Shigeatori is lined up in second spot.
Green flag.
Dick Ward and the yellow car of Hornish is in second spot as the race resumes under green.
Dari looked like he was going to get very aggressive. Now look at this. We got Giamoni got down inside Dari. Sarah Fisher got caught on the outside. She has to get out of the throttle and loses the spot.
Get down the bottom and settle down. Get down the bottom and get in your rhythm.
That's exactly right. Keep the driver calm.
Two very aggressive young Brazilian drivers right here, really going at it. This is shaping up to be quite a battle.
Jeff Ward in that pit car is a lap down. Dari is now running in third. Giamoni in fourth. So those guys both battling for position right there.
Here comes Eliseo Salazar. He's going to make a bid for that position as well.
Now, as we pointed out, we had only one car make a pit stop during that caution. Are you surprised at that, Larry? I thought there would be more take advantage of that caution period there early in the race to check tire wear and so forth.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that Billy Boat, some of those guys might come in there and take advantage of that as well. But now then, they're probably going to do it at an earlier time. Now that we got another battle back here, it's Eddie Cheever. He's being very aggressive here early in the race.
Gets to the inside of Salazar. That's the battle for fifth position, and Cheever has fifth spot as he goes around the slower car of Jeff Ward. And another car coming into the pits. We go down to Vince Welch, who's with Jacques Lazier.
Jacques, everything is fine for you. We're happy to hear that physically, but I know frustrated with the way it worked out.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a bull ring out there, and, you know, everybody's going as hard as they can. We came out to some lap traffic. I thought I had him cleared on the outside, and I got back on the gas, and then all of a sudden I just felt a bump in my left rear, and I don't know if I didn't give the guy room or what, but, you know, I thought I was free and clear, and I was on the exit of the corner and just got spun around.
Bob?
On board with Sarah Fisher. She's back in seventh position now, and now she passes the lap car of Jeff Ward. Again, Jeff is driving a backup car here tonight because he crashed during qualifying. It didn't look that bad, but a piece of the suspension went through the tub and ruined the tub, so he had to go to the backup car. Right behind Jeff Ward is Robbie Buell, who's running at 8th position. Jared Schrader 9th, and Scott Sharp has moved up to 10th position. So Buddy Lazier now has a 3.5-second advantage on Sam Hornish. We'll check the speeds at the line and show you who's the fastest. There is Buzz Hawkins getting lapped once again. The car that I mentioned coming into the pits a few minutes ago was Billy Rowe. And looks like the Hornish, at least among the top two, is the fastest. And as we go on down the line, yep, Hornish is the fastest car on the racetrack. Lazier is second, and look at this. Sarah Fisher is third quick. There's Ayrton Dare running third.
Yes, if you remember right, Lazier on the green went out and had the fastest laps for about the first 10 laps. And then he started slowing up and Hornish started catching it. We'll see if that same trend holds true in this segment.
There's Felipe Giamoni in the Hollywood car. He's back in fourth spot.
Eddie Cheever behind him in that gray car back there, the third car in that lineup. He is catching them. He's been very, very aggressive early here in the race.
And Billy Boat is on pit road, Jack.
We were wondering when Billy Boat would come on to pit road. The fact that he had not qualified well was going to leave him in a position to possibly take advantage of an early caution. But as we watch Eddie Cheever be right on board with him, Cheever has his daughter and his son, Eddie the third, and his daughter here for the first time this season. And his daughter Estelle made a special card for his dad, and it said, "To the best, coolest, lovable, and hairiest father, I love you. Go, Dad." I think he was referring to Cheever's new beard.
Yeah, Eddie showing signs of a beard here with 92-degree weather, but looking pretty good. There is Billy Boat as he remains on pit road.
And they're telling us he has no oil level in the tank, so evidently they've got an oil pickup problem.
Still on board with Eddie Cheever Jr. in the Infinity-powered car. We have Infinities now running in the 5th and 8th position as Robbie Buell is 8th.
Here we have the crafty old veteran in Eddie Cheever catching up the crafty young rookie of Felipe Giafone. Old versus new. History to be made, Bob Jenkins?
Absolutely. And you know what reminds me of this race so far is Pikes Peak. Because remember how Sam Hornish was just running away with things and Cheever and Lazier rather was trying to catch him? It's exactly the opposite tonight as Lazier is dominating things and Hornish is trying to catch up. Hornish now just about 3.5 seconds behind the leader, Buddy Lazier.
Well, I know the Buddy Lazier doesn't want to replay of last week's race. That would put him second and Hornish first.
Cheever, we're riding along with Cheever. They're coming up on some lap traffic. He is very good in traffic. This could be the point. Oh, look at this. Oh, very, very close. Giafone. Cheever got the heck out of there. He saw it was going to be close. He backed up, but Giafone almost made contact.
And here is Cheever now looking to the inside of Giafone. Unable to make a move, however. That was Donnie Beechler. Those guys were going around. Donnie Beechler is a lap down in 13th position.
Bob, earlier this week I had a chance to visit with Tony Stewart as he competed in a dirt track race. You know, Tony's run the IRL champion. And I asked him as a winner, because he won here in NASCAR earlier this year, what sort of advice he would give to the IRL. Tony simply stopped, paused, scratched his chin and said, I don't think I'd give them any advice. It'll be a lot more exciting to watch than learn. So he must be watching the race tonight on ESPN.
Tony has had great success in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series here in Richmond. Right now it is Buddy Lazier. Leads by 3 seconds over Sam Hornish Jr., Dare, Giafone, and Cheever, the top 5. Well, yeah, there you see the intervals among the top 3, and you also notice that Buddy Lazier just put a lap on Sarah Fisher running in 7th position. But now up front, because Buddy has encountered some traffic, the interval has shortened between himself and Sam Hornish, and there is Buddy going to the inside of Shigeatori, and boy, there have been some breathtaking passes and moves so far in the first 50 laps, and we're 20% finished.
Well, that's the only way you can race at a place like Richmond. You have to take chances, but you have to take calculated chances. You try to make the best decisions you can, but if you don't take a risk, you're not going to win this race.
Watch the telemetry here up to 155 miles an hour before some braking for the corners.
Although it is getting better as the fuel goes down.
Buddy talking with his pit crew about the handling of the race car. Look at the closing rate coming up quickly on Beechler.
Wow, that's unbelievable. That gets so tricky, and as the race goes on and these guys get tired, it's going to get so much more difficult out there.
Now let's go down to Vince Welch, who's with Billy Boat.
Frustrating finish for Billy. What was the eventual ending of the evening?
I think we had some kind of an engine problem. The engine lost oil pressure, and just to put him in a few more laps, the whole thing broke, so we just parked it.
What kind of race conditions are you experiencing out there?
For us, the track was really slick. Any throttle, on throttle, the car's really loose. Some guys got it hooked up pretty good, though.
Buddy Lazier is one of them, but Billy Boat's done for the night.
Here's 4th and 5th once again, Giafone and Cheever. Now, the drivers have been complaining about a slick racetrack practically all weekend. The NASCAR Featherlight Modified Series competed here, and the Coors Light Silver Bullet USAC Series also competed here. In fact, the Silver Bullet race just ended a couple of hours ago, and each of those divisions put down a different type of tire residue, and it makes the track slick for these IRL tires.
Yes, it does. It makes it very difficult because this rubber doesn't do very well on the other kind of rubber. So they did let these guys go out and practice about 10 laps earlier in the evening after the USAC race to try to get that rubber off. It seems to have worked somewhat.
And certainly we're not seeing the ultra slick conditions that we did yesterday in qualifying. It unfortunately took a couple of our cars out of the field for tonight's race, but it seems better, but it's still not perfect, is it?
No, I think the other thing about this racetrack is they put a sealer. This racetrack is very, very black. They put a sealer on it. When they do that, I think it's different from most of the asphalt that these guys are normally running on.
Well, when the NASCAR guys would come here, they would call it bear grease. I don't know whether the IRL drivers will have a different name for that or not.
What do you get when you mix bear grease and Tabasco sauce, though, Bob?
A hot compound is all I know. Now look at Giafone close in on Ayrton Dare. This is for third spot. We've got third, fourth, and fifth running right together here, and Salazar isn't too far behind Eddie Cheever.
Wow, Dare just poked that thing on down in there and dared Giafone to stay with him. Giafone thought better of it and let off the gas, let him go. But Giafone definitely had position on him going into turn one.
I think in Brazil they call that slamming the door.
Yep, they do in America.
Second, third, and fourth are all just like nose and tail. Have been for about the last 8 or 10 laps. Look at Cheever now. If you take right along with him, as he's going to try to make a move as they're coming up on some more lap traffic.
You may wonder, what does a company like Firestone Tire and Rubber Company do when you come to a new little bull ring like this? Well, they have no background to base their tire selection upon. They did do some extensive testing, talking to some of the 11 different teams that practiced here before the opening official practice and private sessions. They took what they knew from Pikes Peak, the 1 mile bull ring, they incorporated it in a little different design, and they have brought sufficient number of tires tonight that when the IRL had a problem with the tires from the competing divisions putting down some residue, the IRL was able to give an additional set of Firestone tires to each and every starting team.
Good move. Buddy Lazier. Oh, we have
91's your leader.
on
Pace
the
car,
racetrack.
turn 4. Slow it down, guys. Slow it down. All right, man.
And it comes, as you can see from Buddy Lazier's onboard camera, it comes just as Lazier was closing in on the 6th place Salazar, the 5th place Cheever, the 4th place Giafone, and the 3rd place Ayrton Dare. Now we have 9 cars that are now on the lead lap. Buell, Little Al, and Mark Dismore all got back on the lead lap because of that caution. Now, 75 laps on the 75th lap, which is just 3 from right
91,
now.
slow it down, 91.
The leader of that lap will receive $10,000 because it is the 10,000th lap in Indy Racing League history. It'll be just 2 after we go back to the green, as we are about to do.
Green flag.
Sony Corporation is giving away that $10,000.
And Sarah Fisher right ahead of Sam Hornish Jr., but Hornish is able to get around.
Outside, clear.
No, Giafone did get around Dare on that pit stop, so he now runs in front of him as they're in heavy traffic. Sarah Fisher is next in front of Giafone with Dare right on his bumper.
And then Cheever, Salazar, Buell, Unser, and Disney. Well, coming up is the 75th lap now. Buddy Lazier has things well in hand. And it looks like that Buddy Lazier is going to pick up $10,000 from Sony Disc Manufacturing, leading the 10,000 lap in Indy Racing League history.
Hey, Bob, do you remember at Pikes Peak when Buddy Lazier said after the race, now my son can go to college? I wonder, now that Buddy Lazier's picked up that $10,000, maybe he can go and get some post-grad work done.
I think he's going to get the Buddy Lazier Memorial Library.
Now we're watching this battle here between Giafone and Dare. This is for 3rd spot. As you pointed out, Jason, a couple of Brazilian drivers who don't run on the ovals, but they're making some very, very impressive moves here tonight. And Dare goes inside of Giafone.
He's got a wheel under you. Inside, he's still there.
And Dare completes the pass and goes to 3rd.
This has been a great battle ever since the green flag fell. I think we're going to watch these guys mix it up all night long.
Now Eddie Cheever Jr. closes in on Felipe Giafone. Cheever running in 5th spot. Look at him shift right at the start-finish line, but he drives down into the corner and then shifts again.
A lot of these guys, these cars have a very narrow power band, so a lot of them will shift going down that front straightaway. Here you see them again. They've got 3 top gears. They'll run 4th, 5th, and 6th, all as a top gear. And if they get hung up behind somebody, they'll shift to get more power off the corner. And then they might shift another 1 or 2 times during that lap.
And we'll take a look at Cheever's telemetry. About 158 miles an hour before braking, going into corner number 3 and 4 onto the front stretch, which really isn't a
catching Giaffoni. I think Giaffoni has, whatever they changed on that pit stop, it didn't help them. I don't think they're running as quick as they were before. And you can see that it looks to me like he's pushing the front end on that car.
And Larry, you can see that Cheever's got a handful of wheel, especially when he comes out of the corners. He just reported in that he feels the car runs good, but he says he could use a lot more grip from the rear wheels.
Sarah Fisher has lost a couple of positions recently.
Find your rhythm again.
She's back down to 13th position right now. 1 lap down. So things have not gone well here in the first 82 laps of this race for Sarah.
No grip.
Who started second.
She says no grip.
We update the stories. The track is and continues to be physically demanding. We did see some pit strategy played out by Mark Dismore, who made a pit stop during the first caution and nobody else did. Our points battle, well, Sam Hornish Jr., the points leader, is running second. Salazar is 6th and Sharp 11th, a lap down. And it has not been a good night for either member of the front row as Jacques Lazier crashed early on. Here is Eddie Cheever Jr., and he runs wheel to wheel with Giaffoni, takes that position. Cheever's now 4th. We welcome you to the Indy Racing League's Richmond Indy 300. And we have a Buddy Lazier lead of about 5 seconds right now over Sam Hornish on the left of your screen. And running a very close third is Ayrton Dare. We've had 2 caution periods. Buddy Lazier has led all 85 laps. One of the caution periods was for debris. The other was for the incident involving Jacques Lazier, the pole sitter. He crashed but was not injured.
Ayrton Dare doing a great job as he's actually catching second place Sam Hornish right now. So he's really on the move. That pit stop really helped him. Whatever they changed is a good move.
Yeah, Larry, it's true. Great minds do think alike.
Buddy Lazier with a 3.5-second advantage here at Richmond International Raceway over Hornish. Ayrton Dare is 3rd. Well, the 3rd caution period of the night is out, and this is because, believe it or not, a little bit of rain. Not a heavy rain by any means, but it's enough to bring out the caution flag, and it's only in one area of the racetrack. I don't think this is going to amount to very much. Let's hope not. We are 92 laps into this race. Well, this is the smallest track, as we told you, the IRL runs on. The Indianapolis Motor Speedway is the largest. There's the 3/4 mile layout at Richmond, and look at the comparison between the two.
3.5 times around to make 1 lap at Indy.
Drivers have to go into a short track race with a different mindset than when they race on a big oval.
Texas or Atlanta, you're flat out as soon as they start, drop the green, and you never lift. And drafting plays to effect where there's no drafting here, and you have to get out of the throttle a lot to make it through the corners. So you get a lot more handling and driver control and throttle finesse than at the bigger tracks where we're just flat out and hope to hook up with the fast car.
When we go to a place like Texas, you're flat out around there. There's definitely 2 to 3 grooves around that racetrack. Here you got 1 groove that's the fast groove. You're gonna see more than 1 groove around here, but there's 1 fast groove around here.
Well, when you drive at a place like Texas, your biggest problem is making sure that you stay in a draft. And your spotters have to tell you if somebody's high or somebody's low, so you spend a lot of time looking in your mirrors and making sure you hold your line. And the speeds are high. You're up around 215, 216 miles an hour. When you're around a place like Richmond, it's very frantic. There's cars all over the place. There's a guy high, a guy low, somebody that's going 10 miles an hour slower than you. And if they want, they can actually stop you from passing because there's not that much room.
There are 2 cars going out onto the racetrack after having visited pit road briefly. That is Mark Dismore and Alonzer Jr. And Robbie Buell is still on pit road. And his Purex car is getting pushed off right now, so he goes back into competition. For pit reports, let's go to Jack Arute first.
Buddy Lazier continues to run, but he continues to be very animated on the radio from that front position. First he was complaining about how physically demanding it was, as we told you. Now he radioed in and he said, man, it is hard to pass here. And again, very calmly, his crew chief radioed back, roger that. Let's check in with Vince Welch.
Well, Jack, Larry had mentioned a few moments ago how well Ayrton Dare's car had reacted that after that pit stop, there's a big reason why. They made a couple adjustments in the front wing, 2 turns, and Ayrton Dare says that helped the car out, and it's handling a great deal. Another reason why Dare is running so much better here maybe than some of the other tracks, they tested here. Team Extreme made a stop here for a test session. It's the only track they've ever tested, and maybe that's why Ayrton says, I love this place. We'll see if he keeps loving it as the race goes on.
And before we go any further, I just want to say something about the race fans here in Richmond. I came here many, many years to do stock car races, and first of all, it was really one of my favorite places to come because of the city, the people here, and this racetrack. And we have just a tremendous crowd on hand here tonight, and I hope these fans enjoy the show.
Copy that, Bob Jenkins. 10-4.
Yeah,
I agree with you 100%.
They've had to open up new grandstand sections at least 3 times that I know of since we've been here this afternoon.
Speaking of the race fans, this is what they saw earlier tonight, and they love this.
I thought we only did that stuff in Hollywood.
Mark Hager successfully jumped, and if you were with us on Indy Racing today, you saw that live. Good pre-race show here tonight. Mark Hager making the successful jump in the pickup.
I'll tell you, this whole weekend in Richmond, Virginia, and the way that this city embraces racing and has embraced all of us being here the first time with the IRL this weekend has been truly outstanding. Looking forward to coming back here next year.
And the 2002 schedule for the Indy Racing League was announced today. We'll start March 2nd at Homestead, then we'll go to Phoenix and Nazareth before the month of May in Indianapolis. The first race after Indy will again be at night, Fort Worth, Fountain, Colorado again the 16th, and the night race here at Richmond on June the 29th of next year. Kansas City, Nashville at night. Then Brooklyn, Michigan Speedway for the first time. The IRL goes there on July 28th. Then we'll have the other races that conclude the season once again at Fort Worth. And Greg Ray is up there on the spotter stand.
Right there.
Let's go down and to the pit area once again.
Bob, one of the things that's been happening all day is the conversations back and forth on the radio. And it is almost amusing. You would think, with as busy as these drivers are, that they wouldn't have time to key that button. But Larry Rice, I think that maybe what they're hoping for is somebody to talk them out of being here.
Well, sometimes you get so busy out there, you're just thankful to have somebody giving you some advice when you get in all that traffic. But once we saw Greg Ray a while ago, I just want to say that we saw some other replays of this track in Texas since we were there. I think I said that he may have pulled up into Robbie McGee. That wasn't the case as we saw those new replays, so I just want to set the record straight.
We are getting set to go back to racing on the 101st lap. The green will come out at the conclusion of lap number 100. Rookie Didier Andre, by the way, Jason.
Green flag.
Did you see Harnish? The back end jumped out from under. This racetrack is so slick and so small. He got on the throttle too hard and almost spun on the restart.
And he loses second place to Ayrton Dare, and Dare will come up to challenge Lazier.
He looked like he was going to stick his nose in there. I think he thought better of it, but boy, he got a terrific restart when Harnish made just that slight error.
I'll tell you what they call that here in Richmond, slamming the door.
We've used that term a couple of times today.
Dare has called in and told his crew that he wants 4 sticker tires the next stop, so I'm not sure. Maybe he got the 4 stickers the last time and they're working so well. He wants to make sure he gets the same thing again next time.
Hornish running third, then Cheever, Salazar, Giafoni. Those 6 cars on the lead lap. Didier Andre a lap down in 7th. So is Alonso Jr. a lap down in 8th. Sharp 9th, and Schrader is in 10th position as Lazier passes the slower car, Shiggy Hattori. Hattori running 15th. He's now 3 laps down. Well, Sam Hornish set a record last week the previous race by leading 152 consecutive laps at Pikes Peak. Since then, Buddy Lazier has led 124 consecutive laps.
You can see these guys coming off of turn 2. A couple of them, especially Hornish, got especially close to the wall out there. I think he's picked up about evidently a push as he really went close to the wall coming off turn 2. Yeah, there he came again. And once again, he went out there a little closer than anybody else off that corner.
Here comes the field line. That's Ward. Is Bradley, and off the corner comes Buddy Lazier. But I tell you, he has less of a lead now than he has had all evening long, as Ayrton Dare is within a second of Buddy.
You you can see how quick those laps go. We saw the last car, and the next thing we saw already after just a couple of green laps was our leader, Lazier.
Well, Sunday Night Baseball features a National League East matchup as Mike Piazza and the Mets invade Turner Field to face Chipper Jones and the Braves. Sunday Night Baseball presented by Nextel on ESPN every Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern. If you cannot get to an ESPN on a TV, ESPN Radio has nationwide coverage. Check your local listings for a station in your area. And Piazza, I guess, is on a day-to-day basis here. He broke his toe. Did you see that the other night?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So
all I could see was that crazy 70s mustache he had going in that picture, and I'm thinking about maybe growing one myself.
Oh, please. Here's Vince with a report on Giafone.
Felipe Giafone is running sixth. He radioed into his crew chief, Skip Paul, and said, "What lap is it?" And Skip said, "Lap 100. You've got 150 left to go." And he said, "Are you kidding me?" And Skip Paul said, "This racetrack's going to make a man out of you."
Boy, it will, too. I'll tell you, if you're not ready physically for this place, you're going to be in big trouble in a hurry.
There's our leader, Buddy Lazier. Now his lead is just a little over a second. Over Ayrton Dare was Sam Hornish Jr. running third. Back with more in Richmond in a moment. We'll get you up to speed here as we return. We've had another crash, and it involves Sarah Fisher. Let's jump on board and see what happened.
Going through turns 3 and 4, looks like everything going well, and all of a sudden the back end just jumped around. You can see her kind of turn the wheel. Boy, once she turned it, it was already too late. And she hit the wall a ton with the left side of that car, and you can see heavy, heavy damage on that whole left side.
That's her second crash of the weekend. She crashed also on Thursday. She is out of the car, appears to be okay. Well, the onboard camera is still working on Sarah Fisher's car as it is being towed into the garage area after this incident. Here's the in-car camera crash.
That was turn 2. She goes down into turns 3 and 4. Everything seems to be pretty normal, but all of a sudden, under power, it just jumps out.
And we lost the camera at that point. Sarah is in the infield medical center. Now, that, of course, occurred in turn number 4, but most of the incidents here this weekend have been over in turn number 2. Now, the cars have been coming down pit road while they clean up the racetrack itself there in the 4th turn area, but the pits are actually closed as far as pit activity is concerned. That is being shown there by the gentleman waving the red flag with the yellow X on it. We'll be right back. Still under caution with 121 laps completed here at Richmond. Buddy Lazier is the leader, and Scott Sharp is running 9th.
Hey, Scotty, now that it's getting a little bit cooler, is it getting any better, or is it still really slick out there?
Still pretty slick out here, I tell you. We've improved our car a little bit. We've been playing with some stuff, tire pressures and stuff on the pit stops is helping. But it's real hard to get a good bite off the corner. You know, the whole way you can pass anybody here is getting on the gas sooner and harder than the next guy getting a run on him. And it's hard to get the car to want to do that. But Delphi team's sticking in there. We're going to hang in there and keep working on it.
Physically, how are you hanging in there, man?
Good. I feel real good. You don't get much air under the yellows, but other than that, everything's fine. Just want to say hi to my family and everybody out there in Kelly Racing Land.
Cool. Thanks, buddy.
Scott Sharp running 9th. Eddie Cheever, meanwhile, Jack Arute is running in 4th position.
And you talk about how physically demanding. Eddie Cheever's very, very thirsty. He radioed to Dane Hart, his crew chief. He said, "My water bottle isn't working again." And Dane said, "Well, why don't you just hold the button down and give it time for the water to come up?" Cheever got a little cheeky about it and said, "Well, how about 2 laps? Is that enough time?" Dane Hart very calmly said, "Probably not around here."
Well, it is a very hot evening, and the track is very physically demanding. Now, Larry Rice knew early in the weekend where the most treacherous part of this racetrack would be, and he shares that information in his trackside report.
Richmond International Raceway is the smallest racetrack the Indy Racing League runs on. It's only 3/4 of a mile. They turn this racetrack in less than 17 seconds. It's very busy. It's very tight. It's a bull ring. But that doesn't mean they can't race side by side. Going into turn number 3, it's a big wide open corner. They can run side by side all the way through there and coming off of turn 4. Going into turn 1, it's also big wide open sweeping corner. But coming off of turn 2 is the tightest place on the racetrack. not because it's more narrow, but because of the banking. It drops from 14 degrees back in the middle of the corner to 2 degrees here coming off of turn 2. So by the time you get to this point, you have to be aware of anybody that's around you. Your car wants to slide towards the wall. So if there's somebody out there, you've got to give him room. If you don't, and you touch wheels, there's going to be trouble.
As was the case with Jacques Lazier earlier this evening. It's just about 9 o'clock Eastern Time. We welcome you to Richmond International Raceway, the Indy Racing League's 7th stop of the 2001 series, the Richmond Indy 300. We have completed 125 laps out of 250, so we're right at the halfway point. Buddy Lazier has led all the way so far. Ayrton Dare is running second, then Sam Hornish and Eddie Cheever and Eliseo Salazar complete the top 5. A couple of crashes, both of them involving the front row members. Jacques Lazier, the pole sitter, was the first to crash, and now Sarah Fisher, who started outside row number 1, has been the cause of the most recent caution flag.
Well, Hornish lost a lap, lost position for that lap car as they went through turns 1 and 2.
Sam hasn't had good restarts at all tonight. He is still in 3rd position, but did allow a slower car to get between himself and the second-place car of Dare. And Jared Schrader has stopped on the racetrack, so this will bring out another caution. Jared Schrader was running back in 12th position. A lap down, his car has stalled on the racetrack here in the front stretch. Back in a moment. Welcome back to Richmond, and our race summary really involves the front row members. Jacques Lazier with his first IRL pole position. However, this is what happened to him early in the going. It occurred in turn number 4, and he and Buzz Calkins touch wheels. Right there we saw from Eddie Cheever's onboard camera that sent Jacques into the outside wall. And on lap number 110, Sarah Fisher, who started on the outside of the front row, was going into turns 3 and 4, and all of a sudden the car was around on her, and she hit the wall and is out of the race. Well, that means that we take a look now at our stories that we are following all evening long. Sam Hornish Jr., the points leader, is 3rd in the order. Salazar is 5th, and Scott Sharp, although he is a lap down, is in 11th position. And we can forget about the front row because both have been eliminated from competition. 1 to go when they come back this time. And we want to say also how tough a break it was for Jacques Lazier. It was Sam Schmidt and his team's 3rd crash of the season. They had a big crash, of course, in Atlanta and in Texas, both involving Davey Hamilton, and of course tonight with Ayrton with Jacques Lazier. And we certainly want to say hi to Davey, who we know is listening and watching at the hospital in Indianapolis, Methodist Hospital. We understand he's doing very, very well, and Davey, our best friend.
All of the drivers here this week put stickers on their car that say "Get well, Dave." Everyone in the IRL and certainly all of us here at ABC want to wish Dave a very speedy recovery. Our thoughts are with you, buddy.
And Robbie McGee, who was also injured in that big crash in Texas, will hopefully be back in Kansas City next Sunday. It's 88 degrees still with the time just about 5 minutes after 9 o'clock. And we go back to green now with Buddy Lazier continuing to lead this race. And there's Sam Hornish Jr., who gets a little bit better start, but he's running wheel to wheel with Ayrton Dare, who's having, or rather, who's having a great race running in 7th position. His teammate Alonso Jr. is behind him at 8.
Yeah, Andre got that jump on him the first time. I think that really kind of upset him. He wanted to get that back. You saw the track temperature is 99 degrees still.
With the sun having set long ago. Here's Eddie Cheever Jr. running in 4th position in that gray car, the Cheever Indy race car. There are 6 cars on the lead lap. Salazar and Giacomi also on the same lap with the leaders.
They're a little bit farther back in the pack, but Cheever right now, I think a lot of these guys are just kind of riding along here. Cheever's not really making any big moves towards the front. He actually is running just a tad slower than Hornish is at this point in the race, but still hanging right in there, waiting for that next pit stop to hopefully make just that one little fine-tuning adjustment that enables him to go back up towards the front.
Cheever's been taking an awful lot of ribbing over his beard that he's been sporting here at Richmond. You heard us tell you about what his daughter said about it. We found out one of the reasons why Eddie Cheever is wearing a beard is the last time he won for Infinity, giving Infinity its first win last year at Pikes Peak. was sporting a beard. I'm sure there was one difference. Back then, it wasn't loaded with gray.
You'll get there someday, Jason.
Pits are closed, 91 2 leader.
The pits are closed as another caution comes out. Jared Schrader was coming back onto the racetrack and apparently has spun coming out of the pits. Jared was the reason for the caution before this one because he stalled on the racetrack, and now as he was coming back on to the speedway, he spun again apparently.
Yeah, you can actually see his skid marks right underneath this safety vehicle. Before that safety vehicle pulled in, you could see his skid marks there. I'm not sure whether he maybe made light contact with the wall. There he is right there coming out onto the pits. Now he's still on the flat track right there, and it's very easy to spin your wheels on the flat track when you're on the apron. Wow, and he did make contact with the wall.
Yeah, that's a tough break because he just got on the throttle a little bit too aggressively. They're coming off and you can see the smoke starting to roll as soon as he hit the throttle, and he just spun around. He did back in, and he did do some damage, probably to the wing and the rear end.
So the TriStar Motorsports car will be taken off the racetrack, and Sunday, ABC Sports brings you the next race in the Card FedEx Championship Series, the Marconi Grand Prix in Cleveland. That's Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 Pacific on ABC. All right, we have 140 laps completed of 250. Buddy Lazier leads Dare, Hornish, Cheever, and Salazar.
Back at Richmond International Raceway, Sarah Fisher started on the outside of row 1, but unfortunately it's becoming a familiar refrain here with the way things are finishing for you. Another dose of bad luck tonight.
Well, it's not bad luck. I mean, gosh, the car was so loose. I couldn't drive it anymore, you know. And Kroger Racing's been doing an awesome job for us this year, and my guys on my team have been really working hard trying to keep good race cars under me, but it was just really loose tonight.
Was it a product of the track, or had the car gone away from you?
You know, it's one or the other, and you know, we're going to go back and have a chat about it certainly and find out what went wrong.
Physically okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm ready to go again. It's just, you know, I don't have a car, so.
Sarah Fisher, another tough break. Jack Arute?
Well, Vince Welch, we're beginning to see some of the pit tactics unfold. Sam Hornish, who was unable to close on your leader, Buddy Lazier, John Barnes and the Pennzoil Panther team elect to bring Sam Hornish in. Why? They're going to fill him with fuel. They did. 35 gallons of methanol is on board. And let's check in. Kevin Blanche worked awfully hard. Kevin, John Barnes says you're going to try and go the distance now without making another pit stop.
Yeah, you know, it was pretty close right there, so we were kind of hoping some other guys would come in with us, but they didn't. So we'll just see what happens with the Pennzoil Panther car. We're not too bad right now. We just need a little break here.
And they all have done this with their fingers.
By the way, another member of that Pennzoil Panther team, Mike Griffin, his daughter, Sky, was recently selected as the Indiana Law Enforcement Officer of the Year because of a heroic rescue she made in a fire. And we just want to say congratulations to her and Mike and everybody at Panther Racing.
Absolutely. And on a sadder note, we want to offer our condolences to the Chandler Bruning family who got killed at Pikes Peak earlier this week. Tough break for that whole family.
Sam Hornish Jr., because he made the pit stop, is going to go back to 4th position now. Sam Hornish Jr. from Defiance, Ohio, and had back-to-back wins to begin the 2001 campaign. And look at his hobby. You would expect that. There's Mike Griffin, and it is his daughter, Sky, who was chosen as that Law Enforcement Officer of the Year.
Bowling is a very hip sport, Bob Jenkins. I know you don't think so.
Oh, yes, I do.
But young people today, of which I am one, we tend to go bowling occasionally, and we rock and roll bowling with the strobe lights and the loud music. It's probably too loud for you.
Then there is something that bridges our generation gap.
Bowling?
Yeah.
Or Tabasco sauce.
Well, there are 2 other cars that came in. Salazar and Giappone both made the pit stop when Panther did, so there's 3 cars that could possibly make it to the end.
Guys, and you see Eliseo Salazar, and right up ahead of him is the car of Mark Dismore. Now, Dismore is a lapped car. Salazar and Dismore's teams have communicated they're going to allow Salazar to go by him because he's on the lead lap. But Mark Dismore radioed in and said, you make sure our spotter confirms to their spotter that we're doing this, and they remember. Hey, guys, nothing is for free.
That's right.
Be sure of it, especially on the racetrack.
One of these days, I want that favor returned, and I want it well documented.
Ayrton Dare is lined up right behind Buddy Lazier. Eddie Cheevers third, then Hornish, Salazar, and Giafoni. Those 6 cars are on the lead lap.
Let's take a look at the fuel in these cars. They have 35 gallons. They get 1.8 to 2 miles per gallon. They get better under the yellow. Compare that with your passenger car, 17.5 gallon capacity, 25 miles per gallon. But believe me, they're going to be nervous because if they can't get a little over 2 miles per gallon for the rest of this race, they're going to have to make another pit stop.
And we will go back to racing in less than 2 laps. There's
look at this.
Dare pit team out there.
Well, now this is a smart move on his part. If he comes in now, takes on fuel and tires, he is more likely to make it to the end than everybody else. But with only 1 lap to go, can he do that and get back out there without losing a lap?
We will have 101 laps to go. And they will go back to green next time. Here's the remainder of our schedule this year. We've got 6 more races. We'll be in Kansas City this coming Sunday. Then our first visit to Nashville's new speedway on Saturday night, July 21st. We'll go back to Sparta, Kentucky, and Kentucky Speedway on the 12th of August, and St. Louis on the 26th. The brand new Chicagoland Speedway at Joliet on September the 2nd, and then the closer in Fort Worth. Vince?
Well, you saw Ayrton Dare's crew get out over the wall as if they were going to do a pit stop, but that was not the case. They were just going to get ready in case Lazier's team came in, wanted to err on the side of safety. Jackaroo.
And Vince, one of the reasons why the leader, Buddy Lazier, did not come in and hit his tires. What the crew hopes to do is run as long as they can so that they can have the freshest Firestone firearms for the remainder of this race. Ditto for the Infinity Power Plant, Freddie Cheever Jr. They feel they can go as far as another 15 to 20 laps. They said that could be the difference, especially on this super straight track.
99 laps to go, coming up on 98 as Buddy Lazier continues to lead. He has led all the way so far. Ayrton Dare right behind him there, about a second behind him.
Well, Dare was very nervous under that yellow. I think he wanted to pit. The team decided not to pit. And right now, he's kind of backed off a little bit. He's not going to race right now because he's afraid they might run into fuel trouble.
This is Ayrton Dare's 16th career start. His best finish was at Pikes Peak last year when he came home runner-up. And he had a 5th place finish at Pikes Peak recently. And it seems like that despite the fact that he didn't grow up on this type of racetrack, that he does excel on the smaller roads.
He is a fearless kid. I spent some time with him this weekend and talking to him about being here and testing, the fact that he did get to do some testing here. But he's really a fearless kid. He's, he's loving racing these cars. He's loving being in this series. He's just having a great time.
Jason, it's interesting that you may bring up that comment because Ayrton Dare, who grew up in the road course background, said he actually compared this racetrack to a road course that has 2 high-speed corners. And he said that's why he thinks he's very comfortable on this oval as tight as it is, like 2 high-speed corners in the road course.
One of the other things this track has that most tracks don't have is actually from the driver's point of view. As you're coming into turn 3, till you get into the apex between 3 and 4, there actually is a slight elevation change where you actually go up a little bit in elevation going into turn 3 and then down into, and here we go, down into turn, see down in between, see if you make that elevation change. It's hard to tell from this camera angle, but if we do it from Eddie's nose cam, you'll be able to see that elevation change, and it's quite dramatic, and it actually does resemble a road course corner much more. Here we come right here, you'll see we come up a little bit, and you see we drop down to the apex here. Doesn't seem like much from there, but when you're in the car, it seems like much more.
Now, you actually go uphill, then downhill, then uphill again, and get back on the first straightaway. You're exactly right.
Buddy Lazier has set an all-time record for consecutive laps led. He led 44 at Pikes Peak, has led all 158 tonight. That breaks Sam Hornish's record of 152 straight laps led. Now the Vince.
Well, we saw Jared Schrader in the TriStar Motorsports car, have it come out from under him a couple of times. So take us back through what happened, Jared.
Well, on the restart, my car just shut off coming out of turn 3. Yellow again, went back into the pits. They thought maybe the battery had died. Went to leave the pits, the car didn't sound right. And as I was going to merge back into the track, the motor let go and spun me into the inside wall. We think something from one of the accidents maybe got into the air intake and, ended our day.
That's kind of a race-by-race battle for Schrader and TriStar. Hopefully we'll see him at Kansas City.
Buddy Lazier continues to lead here at Richmond International Raceway, just outside the city limits of Richmond, Virginia, in the county of Henrico. We'll take a break and be back with more live action. The Richmond Indy 300. Stay with us.
Look how fast they go around. The dots are just screwing around.
Yeah.
The good ones look like they're going 2 miles an hour. Top 3 guys. They're killing everybody.
Hey guys, there is a piece of Robbie Buell's wing that we're trying to shoot you.
Clear.
Right straight across.
On the track, Jack?
On the track, on the front straightaway. And the crews are trying to get officials' attention to let them know about it.
Okay.
Just don't forget, if a yellow comes out, that's a big break.
Hope Brian's watching. Okay. It's right up against the wall, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll bet you one of the drivers just had that in the cockpit and just heaved it out.
Probably. It's time for a pit stop. They go the rest of it.
Let's have a NASCAR yellow.
Thank goodness you're a Texan, Bob.
This is a good stat, Greg. Good stat. Got a good one coming back. Back at Richmond International Raceway, where Buddy Lazier continues to lead. He's led since the drop of the green flag. No driver has ever led flag to flag in an IRL race. The record, Tony Stewart led 193 and 200 laps back in 1997 at Pikes Peak when he drove to his first career win. And by the way, he, of course, won here at Richmond International Raceway in May in his NASCAR Winston Cup race.
Well, I'm going to make a prediction that he doesn't lead every lap because I think somebody will stay out the next time he pits. Even if it's under yellow, I think one of those 3 guys earlier will not go in, and therefore they will inherit the lead. So,
Larry, that's exactly what Sam Hornish and company are hoping for. They do not intend to come back in the pits. But boy, I don't know. That's an awful long time to go in a tank of fuel.
you better be pretty ginger on the throttle most of this section of the race, let me tell you.
Sam Hornish, not a young man known for having a light right foot.
Here is Buddy Lazier as we go on board with him. That is Donnie Beechler that he puts a lap on. Beechler is running in 12th position, and he now goes 3 laps down. That's Shigeatori right in front of Buddy now.
He's probably going to, he puts him down as he heads into turn 1. And most of these guys have been very courteous when they've been lapped. Their spotters tell them, they move over, they get out of the throttle. All you have to do is crack the throttle just for a second and let that guy go on in, then you can pull right back down in the lane. And most of them have been very courteous in doing that. As I say that, Cheever almost gets 3 abreast back there. Coming up on a couple of lap cars.
And we're on board with Eddie Cheever Jr. running a very strong 3rd here tonight.
I do want to say that smoke from Jared Schrader's car must have been the engine. We thought it was tire smoke, but it must have been engine smoke because he said the engine let go. Apologize for that area.
Hey, Bob, earlier this week I had an opportunity to run into an old friend of mine and an old friend of yours. Paul Sawyer and the Sawyer family were the ones that first built this 3/4-mile speed palace before selling it to the International Speedway Corporation. Paul Sawyer celebrated a couple of days ago his 85th birthday. And I'll tell you what, I think he could beat you and I in a foot race around this track.
And the Sawyers were always one of the reasons why I enjoyed coming here. They're a great family, and they've done a tremendous amount for racing in this area. We'll follow the Philadelphia 76ers through the NBA Finals close up and personal. Our cameras and microphones take a behind-the-scenes, unprecedented, all-access look at Allen Iverson, Dikembe Mutombo, Larry Brown, and the Sixers as they make a run for their first NBA title in 18 years. See what goes on in practice, in the locker room, and in strategy sessions. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Vince?
Ayrton Dare currently running second. His car is hooked up. They love the way it's handling, but they're getting low on fuel. They've only got about 18 laps left in this tank, so Team Extreme
That's the 6th place car, and now 5 drivers are on the lead lap. But
it'll be interesting to see how much longer Lazier can go. Remember, he did not pit either, and Cheever's in the same boat. So probably all 3 of those guys will have to pit soon.
And do not forget what happened at Pikes Peak. Again, Sam Hornish dominated all race long until the final pit stop. Got a set of tires that just didn't work right with the car, and he ended up, of course, finishing in 2nd position.
Yeah, Stagger is so critical. I think we called them bad tires there. There wasn't anything wrong with the tires. It was the fact that the Stagger changed ever so slightly, and they measured the Stagger on these cars in hundredths of an inch, not in quarters. Saw a little bit of wiggle.
91 Jew leader, 91 Jew leader.
Giaffoni and Dare are both in an incident.
Oh, boy, that's really unfortunate. You guys were 2nd and your 4th and 5th place, 6th place car there.
Yep.
That's too bad.
Giaffoni had just driven a terrific race, and Giaffoni has had an incredible finishing record in this freshman year in the IRL. He has never finished outside the top 10. He's finished 6th, 4th, 10th, 10th, 2nd, and 7th, but it's not going to be that good tonight.
And you can see when Dare got out of the car there, obviously he's very unhappy with somebody. I don't know whether it's Giaffoni or somebody else, but obviously he feels like he was wronged in some fashion.
Well, guys, the Ayrton Dare team was very excited when they found out that there was a yellow, because I just reported that they needed the yellow. But they were extremely disappointed when they found out the yellow was because their car was involved in the incident, obviously ruining their chances of victory.
Wow, and some great driving there by a couple of drivers. Eddie Cheever, I believe one of them, dodging the accident.
He was trying to sneak under Giaffoni coming off the corner, and when he got on the throttle, it looked like he just did a little wiggle, and when he did, let's take another look at it. Coming off of this corner, they're side by side, and he wiggled a little bit, got his right front into the left rear of Giaffoni, and both of them ended up in the fence.
Looked like Giaffoni was giving him enough room and holding his line, didn't it?
That's Al Unser Jr. that drove through the crash
along with Eddie Cheever.
Yeah.
Yeah, look right here, right there. He did a little wiggle, and just when he couldn't correct it, he did get it almost corrected, but not quite in time before he got into the side of Giaffoni. Tough break for both those guys.
Boy, being in Al Unser Jr.'s position and Eddie Cheever's position here, this kind of stuff gives you nightmares right here.
You just have to point it in one direction and hope it was the right move.
He lost the back end, and when he corrected it, really took a jump and just turned to the right and got right into the side of Giaffoni.
Well, not hard contact with either driver, but it was enough to break some suspension parts. Well, the pits now are going to be open. We're at the 185 lap mark. A crash involving Felipe Giaffoni and Ayrton Dare has brought out our 7th caution of the evening here at Richmond International Raceway. Eliseo Salazar did not pit here under caution, is the leader of the race, followed by Cheever, Buddy Lazier, Hornish, and Al Unser Jr. and Ayrton Dare. Both the Team Gallus cars are going to get back on the lead lap in 5th and 6th position. Now the cars that are out of the race include the front row of Jacques Lazier, the pole sitter, and Sarah Fisher, who started outside. Both have crashed, are okay. Now Scott Sharp becomes the first car not on the lead lap in 7th position.
Hey Scott, we just saw Buddy Lazier miss his pit in the pit lane. Is it tough to see down there?
No, Jason, for me it hasn't been at all. Quite easy. Delphi guys we've been improving our car, just unfortunately early in the run tonight we got a lap down, and so we've been trying to catch back up, but our car's definitely improved to only being one of the quicker ones out here.
How much of a factor has the lap traffic been for you tonight?
It's tough, this is a tough place to pass, and a guy can hold you up. Like I was running with the leaders earlier, and I got behind a lapped car, boom, a second. Every lap you're behind, and you lose running his pace because you just can't get by him.
Right on, buddy. Good luck the rest of the run.
Thanks, man.
It's a good thing we're talking to him under the yellow. He has to talk with that one hand in there.
Well, he's playing to the camera, Larry. He's a TV. He helps me on the IROC races this year on ESPN, and he's doing quite a good job.
Media savvy, gesticulating feverishly.
That's right. Here's Vince.
Thank you very much, Ayrton Dare. You and Felipe Giaffoni are good friends. You've raced together a long time, but this was not the kind of racing you wanted to do.
No, yeah, like Felipe is my best buddy here, and I know. I saw when Buddy got past him, he left a lot of room for Buddy, so I thought that I would expect for him to let me some room, and he pushed me down below the line. I just got big loose and hit the wall.
Disappointing finish for Ayrton Dare. Had been running so strong.
Felipe Giafoni's car is on pit road, and it looks like, although he did break some suspension pieces up there in the left front of the car, they're going to try to get him back in the race, it looks like.
Indeed, that is what the team tends to do for the Hollywood car. Felipe Giafoni stays in the car. They're going to change the hub and the suspension. It is allowed under IRL rules. And don't forget, Giafoni is the current leader in the Rookie of the Year points.
Now, again, because of the rules in the IRL, they pick up the leader, and that means that all cars that are in front of the leader will get their lap back, and that includes this time Alex Jr. in fifth and his teammate Didier Andre in sixth position. The green flag comes out, and Eliseo Salazar is leading for the first time since Homestead. He led 16 laps there and finished in third position. Eddie Cheever Jr. is second, then Lazier, and then Hornish.
Yes, Lazier is on the hunt already as he's up there in lap traffic right behind Cheever. Look how close this is coming off of turn 4.
Boy, oh boy.
Now then we'll see. You see how you had to shift gears? You're in the traffic, and once you get around them and can run on your own, you can go up another gear. That's only about 75 to 100 RPM difference, but the huge difference in these cars is the horsepower range that they have.
Look at the way that Cheever and Lazier are catching up to Salazar. Wasting no time at all.
The three-car battle, and Eddie Cheever Jr. had ideas of going inside and trying to pass Salazar, but backed off.
And you saw when he backed off how quickly Lazier caught up to him. The momentum here really makes a huge difference. If you got to roll out of your throttle at all, the guys behind you get a great run on you.
I personally think it was a great idea for the IRL to come here and race on this short track. We haven't seen, I don't think, nearly the damaged equipment, at least so far, that we thought we might have. And boy, it really brings a whole new aspect to IndyCar racing on a track like this.
There are more variables on this racetrack, I think, than any racetrack they ever race on. The physical aspect, the mental aspect, the setup aspect, everything is so much different than any place they ever raced on. It's very challenging.
And everything happens so much quicker here. It really is incredibly exciting racing. Not only for us as fans, but also for the drivers, I think. They're busy and into this all the time.
Bob, I heard a great comment from a driver who said, I love it out here. I don't want to name him because many of his fellow drivers will get upset. Because the next thing he said to me is, he said, hey, let's go to Bristol next.
I don't know about that. Well, Eliseo Salazar leading for A.J. Foyt, and A.J.'s last victory as a car owner was in 1999 when Kenny Brack won the Indianapolis 500.
And here we are, guys, now 47 laps to go. These guys have been in these race cars for an hour and 40 minutes, driving their hearts out. People are going to start to get tired and get dehydrated and hopefully not make mistakes, but the chance is certainly there now if these guys start to get fatigued to make mistakes. They have to concentrate 150% from this point in the race on.
Sam Hornish is reporting that his engine won't accelerate. He thinks maybe the header is broken from the sound of it. So
that's exactly right. That's exactly right, Larry. He does indeed have a motor problem and a header problem. And the team right now is just waiting on it to come to an end.
And Shigeatori is going the wrong way on the racetrack, so he brings out another caution here at Richmond. Doesn't look like the car is damaged, is it, Larry?
No, it doesn't appear to be damaged, and he did a pretty good job of keeping it out of the wall. Kind of hard to drive backwards with your mirror at about 100 miles an hour.
That right front tire looks
If you're okay, put the steering wheel on top of it.
All right, here's a look at what happened. Here comes Satori. He's by himself.
Yeah. You can see right here, he did make a slight contact with the left front, but not real hard contact.
I think Shiggy was really that's really just an homage to Danny Sullivan in '85. He's trying to do the spin and win.
Hattori, of course, is coming back to activity in the Indy Racing League after sitting out the most recent race at Pikes Peak. Jack?
You're looking at A.J. Foyt as he talks to Eliseo Salazar on the radio. This crew, the Harris crew, does not, I repeat, does not intend to take advantage of this yellow and come in for fuel. When I asked the man that you saw right next to A.J., Craig Baranowski, you have enough fuel? He said, oh, yeah. Then A.J. Foyt just radioed to the Chilean, you're running 17-second laps. You keep doing that, and you'll win this thing.
And, of course, these caution flag laps really help as far as fuel mileage. is concerned. Salazar leads at the Richmond Indy 300. Under caution here at Richmond, and Alonso Jr., who is running in 5th position, has decided to come in for a stop, and it's been, what, quite a few laps since he was in.
But that's exactly what he wanted to do, Bob. That's the reason he stayed out the last time. He got his lap back. Now he gets to make his pit stop, so he's back on the lead lap, and he can go the rest of the way. So it was a good strategy on their part.
You know, it's great job by the Gallows team here during this whole race. This is their best effort this year. They're running in 5th and 6th position right now. They're really just doing great this week.
Well, we're racing under the lights tonight, and night racing returns to Southern California for the first time in over 20 years as the Pep Boys NHRA 50th Anniversary Nationals at Pomona Raceway get underway. ESPN will carry all the qualifying with another round tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern Time, and then 2 hours of final elimination starting at 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. It will be fire under the lights as ESPN2 and the NHRA celebrate 50 years of drag racing. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Well, it's business as usual for Sam Hornish. He's running in the top 4. He's running 4th right now. He has only finished outside the top 4 one time this year. One more lap and we will go back to racing as the pace car pulls off the track, and we will be in Kansas City next Sunday as that brand new racetrack hosts the Indy Racing League, and ABC Sports will have it for you at 1 o'clock Eastern Time tomorrow. Vince, or rather next Sunday. Vince?
Yeah, Eddie Cheever's team feeling confident, although running in 2nd, because they have on sticker tires and they've got all the fuel they need. On the other hand, Salazar's running on old tires and he's low on fuel, so Cheever's group believes that they're in the right position right now.
Wow. And the green comes out at a close moment there for Cheever and Salazar as Cheever sets sail, and look though at the...
When he had to get out of the front, yeah, both those guys almost got together, and now look at Lazir. Oh, look at this!
That was inevitable.
I think in Chile they're familiar with the phrase slamming the door as well.
Oh, man.
That is so unfortunate.
Eddie Cheever Jr. talked so much after the Texas race about pulling stunts like that, and I don't think he has anybody to blame but himself.
Boy, that's a tough break for Salazar. He had this thing pretty well in hand, and tough break for him, because Cheever was just so excited. He knew his biggest chance, his best chance was going to be on that restart. He made one move, it didn't work, so he tried to make another going into 3, and there just really wasn't enough for him.
Eddie Cheever Jr. running 2nd is out of the race. Eliseo Salazar, the leader, is out of the race. Buddy Lazier inherits the lead once again. Sam Hornish, Didier Andre, and Alonso Jr. are the top 4 on the lead lap.
Didier Andre, the only other rookie in the field except for Felipe Giafoni, up into 3rd place because of that accident.
Yes, but he has run very, very well all night long. He's remember, he passed our leader, I think it was Sam Hornish, in 2nd earlier in the race, so he's been very much on the mark after going down a lap early.
Cheever climbs out of the race car. You notice he's wearing the Hans device, and many of the Indy Racing League drivers are wearing that this year. He appears to be okay. I know he's disappointed because he gave the Infinity a great run here tonight, but unfortunately, as he tried to take the lead from Salazar, they touched wheels.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not going to be very happy when he sees the replay and how things unfolded there, because it just looked like he got a little excited, got in there a little bit too hot.
And it's Eddie Cheever Jr.'s 5th DNF in 7 races this year.
This is Salazar back up here, up the racetrack a little ways. When they made contact, Eddie obviously went on farther down the racetrack, but Salazar still there as we see Eddie walking back toward the pit area.
Yeah, good to see Eddie's okay there. And actually, you can see the gray in his beard right there that Jack was talking about earlier. Some of the younger drivers here this weekend, we're actually referring to him as Santa Claus.
Well, it's a tough.
There is Eliseo, and he's getting out of the car, and will do so under his own power. They have the backboard right there, but he's going to be able to climb out of the car under his own power. Salazar's only IRL win came in Las Vegas in 1997. He tried to give A.J. Foyt his 7th IRL victory here tonight, but came up a little bit short.
Of course, Salazar was hurt very badly a few years ago. It took him about a year to recover, so I'm sure he's got the wind knocked out of him a little bit, but doesn't appear to have anything very badly wrong.
All right, let's take a look at some replays. By the way, that crash that you referred to, Larry, was at Dover in 1998.
Well,
that's a tough call to make.
Well, guys, that to me, that's one of those instances that you just, I mean, both drivers are going to claim that they had the position and had the way to be there. That's one of those crashes that's just racing, you know?
Yeah, I agree. The first angle we saw, it looked like he kind of stuck his nose down there. From the other angle, it looked like he was up there a good ways, but tough break for both of them.
Here's a view that we have.
Yeah. Man, a tough break for both those guys. You know, this is one of the race like this, though, when you take a chance. We said they're going to wait till late in the race. Well, there's only, 30 or 40 laps left. He took a chance. Salazar took a chance, and it just didn't work for either one of them.
Late in the race, tired, dehydrated, lose your concentration for a millisecond. That's how quickly it happens. Make a bad error in judgment for 1 millisecond. Stick your nose in there a little further than maybe you should. Salazar doesn't look in his mirror quite as much as he should. This is what happens.
Yeah, it was a tough break, and like I said, both of those guys could have avoided that. Had either one of them just given away a little bit.
Slow motion here as we ride with Buddy Lazier. He has the bird's eye view of what happened.
You see right there, he pokes that thing right down there. Stop it right there. You can see how low he is on the racetrack. He's very, very low. Salazar right here is up more in the groove, but Salazar came down. By that time, Cheever saw that he was coming down and he got on the brakes, but he just didn't have enough time to miss him.
And Buddy Lazier drove right through it and drove into the lead once again. He has led 193 laps. Salazar had been the only other leader. Now Eliseo is out. 222 laps completed, and we are under caution. RPM Tonight, the nightly source for motorsports news on television since 1996. For a recap of all the latest headlines, you can tune in RPM Tonight nightly on ESPN2. Jack?
Eddie Cheever Jr. has just come out of the infield care center. And Eddie, tell us what happened during that incident with Eliseo.
I got up beside him coming out of, he had older tires than I did, coming out of 2. He went up high, I got up beside him, I was in the bottom line, and he just turned down. And there's just no place for him to go, no place for me to go, and we collected. But I would definitely had enough room. Anyways, the officials will tell us what happened.
Bob? Eddie is, as you can imagine.
Did you get the subtle sarcasm in that, Bob?
Very unhappy at what has happened. Here it is from his onboard camera once again. This is down the backstretch.
Well, from his in-car camera, I have to agree with him. It appears that he was up there a long ways. But once again, either one of their spotters, I think, could have told them, give room.
While we're under caution, we're going to take our last commercial break. We'll come back with the remaining laps in a moment. We're halfway through the IRL season, and Sam Hornish Jr. has led points from the very first race. He has a 56, or had a 56-point advantage going into the ninth affair. Salazar in second spot. Scott Sharp moved up in the points because of his victory. So did Buddy Lazier. Now they're 6 through 10. Boat, who was out early tonight. Jeff Ward, who has not had a good evening. Buzz Calkins has had a bad night. Greg Ray didn't even start the race. Ayrton Dare has had the best showing tonight, but he crashed out and will finish in 15th position. So we'll go back to racing next time around. And the Gallus cars are now running in 3rd and 4th position. And again, Larry, it's been pit strategy that has put them up there. We go to Jack.
Well, Buddy Lazier, as you remember, stayed very calm after he missed his pit stop and had to go back around. He watched, and he said on the radio after the Salazar Cheever incident, boy, sometimes you just get paid back. Right now, the crew's very happy with the car. They're happy with the performance. In fact, they just think that Lady Luck Vince Welch may be shining on them yet again.
Well, we reported a little while ago that Sam Hornish Jr. was experiencing what they thought was a motor problem, possibly a bad header. They said, we're just going to hold on. Either the motor's going to go or the race is going to come to an end. We'll see which happens first. But right now, Hornish is running second.
22 laps to go. 22 laps to go. Alonso Jr. has got around his teammate Andre. He's now 3rd.
He snookered him on that start. Just went right around the outside. And now that he's going to try the outside on the Purex car, Robbie
Sam Hornish is just trying to make a charge to the front right now, guys. He's trying really hard to get up front, but it looks like Little Al's actually reeling him in.
Little Al, very aggressive here. He's a very competitive guy. I asked him last one of the races recently why he was so mad he qualified 10th. He said, because I wanted to be first.
Jackaroo wants the medical situation on Eliseo.
They continue to check him over in the infield care center, but the IRL officials have told me he's expected to be released in 15 to 20 minutes.
Alonso Jr. is third, going for his first top 5 finish since last July at Atlanta when he ran in 3rd position.
And you can see right here the way that he's catching the Hornish. It looks like Hornish probably does have some sort of a minor motor problem. Something that's not taking him out of the race, but is slowing him down somewhat. You remember earlier on in the race, his car was lightning quick, and he was able to put it pretty much anywhere on the track he wanted.
You can see that on the long end of that straightaway is the place that Unser was gaining on him. Now then again, down at the long end of the straightaway. He got out of the throttle, though, unlike Cheever, and let Hornish have the spot. Well, you know, I'm not really blaming Eddie, but it was certainly an accident that I think he was in a position to avoid.
Buddy Lazier is going for back-to-back wins. He won at Pikes Peak a couple of weeks ago. Drivers that have won back-to-back in the IRL: Ari Lyondike in '97, Kenny Wright in '98, Greg Ray in '99, and Sam Hornish earlier this year.
Buddy Lazier is finally starting to have some fun in the race car. He just said, wow, I'm having a good time. And then Ronnie Dawes' crew chief radio back said, you've got a strong lead. Don't beat the horse up.
His lead is 5.3 seconds over Sam Hornish, who has Alonso Jr. all over his rear wing.
Yeah, Unser looks to be very strong right now. They're running almost at the same speed, though. I believe that Unser's running a little bit quicker. He just can't make the move and make the pass.
And it'll be a good night for Team Gallus, and they need some good luck because they've had some very bad luck over this past year. The Star Super Pack G-Force, driven by Alonso Jr., a very strong third now. Didier Andre, his teammate. The Sony PlayStation 2 car is running in 4th spot.
I think this is by far Andre's best effort of the year. He has been strong all race long. He was strong right there in the very beginning, getting it down the lap of the race.
Had only one top 10 finish. That was at Miami when he finished in 10th position. So the laps are winding down quickly, coming up on 11 to go.
All these guys have to do now is keep their nose clean, especially our leader, Lazier. He just keeps his nose clean when he gets to traffic, doesn't force anything, and he should be able to pull this thing over victories. He's got almost a 6-second lead right now.
That's been a good couple of weeks to be a Lazier boy, hasn't it?
Doc, of course, his brother was the star of preliminaries as he won his first pole position, and probably the best news of all was Angelique, Jacques' wife, as Jack Root reported earlier, gave in the news earlier this week that they are going to have a little one. So that's the best news that the Lazier family could receive.
Guys, you're watching Alonso Jr. start Sam Hornish Jr. Alonso Jr., remember, was a lap down in one portion during this race, but they got the lap back. They've made several adjustments with the wings and the stagger of the tires, but right now the car is hooked up, and they believe they can catch Sam Hornish Jr. in these final 8 laps if there's room to do it.
Well, they're going to have to catch some lap traffic. I don't think he's going to do it on an open track, and as I say that, they catch up with Buzz Cockett. But now they have, looks like, can't tell which one of the Shelby cars, that's his Sharp, that they're catching right now. So if they catch him, he might provide a little pick for Unser to use.
You know, even if he doesn't get by Sam Hornish Jr., this would be a great event for Alonso Jr. You know, he won the 3rd IRL race that he ever ran in back in 2000 in Las Vegas, but still looking for his first top 5 this season. As Jason noted earlier, early with Didier Andre running 4th. It's just been a good night all the way around for Dallas.
5 to go, Sam. Keep digging, keep digging.
Well, baseball basketball tonight is coming up in just a few moments. We've got less than 5 laps to go in this Indy Richmond 300 for the Indy Racing League. The leader is Buddy Lazier. Eliseo Salazar led until a few laps ago when he and Eddie Cheever, battling for the lead, were involved in a crash. That gave the lead back to Buddy Lazier. And Sam Hornish is running in second position, but he's closely pursued by Al Unser Jr. Sarah Fisher was eliminated in a crash earlier. Jacques Lazier, the pole sitter, also crashed out very early on. But it could be a good night for the Laziers anyway, because Buddy could be on his way to victory here in less than 3 laps.
Yeah, and it appears that Unser's not going to be able to muster anything for him.
And a 6-second lead conserved.
This could be a problem right here. She's running into some lap traffic, like we said. You don't want to make a mistake like that this late in the race.
You see just ahead of him there, that's Felipe Giafone, who was in that unfortunate incident a while ago. Looks like his crew got that car back together and out on the racetrack.
Less than 3/4 of a mile to go for Buddy Lazier from Vail, Colorado, and he'll have back-to-back wins in the Indy Racing League. Buddy Lazier.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bud. Doesn't that mean that history was made here tonight?
Again, yes. It's the 6th career win for Lazier. It ties him with Scott Shaw for the most IRL wins, and Sam Hornish finishes in second position, holding off a hard-charging Al Unser Jr.